You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at Noon.
And a very good Friday afternoon. I'm Jeff MacArthur. It's been almost 10 weeks since some of the faculty at York University went on strike. And with no sign of a resolution, protesters are now stepping up efforts with a day of action. Let's bring in Karen Lieberman with the latest on this. Karen, good afternoon. And what's happening at the school right now?
Hi there, Jeff. Well, it isn't the massive crowd that organizers had been hoping for, but it is certainly proving effective in that the goal of the people who are here today for this day of action was to shut down the entry and the exit to the Keele campus at York University, and no cars have been coming in, no cars have been going out. So this comes nearly a month after members of CUPE 3903, some of which you see walking today, rejected the university's offer, but it's been nearly 2 months since the strike actually began. So labor leaders today from across the province, they're here on campus to show their support for striking contract faculty and other staff, but it isn't only union members who feel solidarity. In fact, I want to mention I spoke with a 30-year faculty veteran who isn't in the union, and even he's pointing the finger at York administration, saying they're to blame for not sitting down to negotiate. Let's revisit the sticking points briefly of the contract dispute: job security and the path to tenured positions for contract faculty. About 3,000 union members are on strike, and by the way, the school can expect more delays like this one if no progress is made.
We've locked down this university. Nobody's coming in, nobody's going out. We want the employer to get back to the bargaining table and negotiate with CUPE. The labor movement knows how to negotiate collective agreements, but it takes two parties to bargain a fair collective agreement.
This has been 9 weeks, and in 9 weeks, the employer has come to the bargaining table just one day and only met with our members face to face for an hour. This is unacceptable. The only way this strike is going to be resolved is if York University gets it in its head. It's got to come back to the bargaining table and resolve this.
So York University has asked for the sides to go to binding arbitration. That's not what the union wants, though. They want to sit down and they want to negotiate a deal, they tell me, and it's been weeks. And as you heard, they've only sat down for 1 hour in all this time. Finally, Jeff, I'll mention that just earlier this week, York University began helping in terms of financial aid for some of the students because so many have been impacted by this very strike. Back to you.
All right, appreciate the update. Karen Lieberman for us.
Labor leaders have joined striking York University staff on the picket lines.
The Ontario Federation of Labor holding a day of action in support of CUPE members who have been on strike for just about 2 months now. CTV's Austin Delaney is live at the Keele Street campus. Austin, March 5th, they walked off the job. No end in sight to this strike.
No, Ken, and for the strikers behind me, for the administration and the offices behind me, for the students not in the classrooms behind me, this is at the very least frustrating.
Oh, hey, hey, ho, ho, union busting's got to go.
Now in its 9th week, the strike by York faculty and teaching assistants is nowhere ahead today than when it began March 5th.
It's day one.
Pickets still walk the line, and neither side is talking.
With about an hour's worth of negotiating since March the 5th, it's time to end this strike, get the employer back to the table, get CUPE back to the table, and end this dispute. It's gone on far too long.
At this main entrance, a blockade today on this day of action, where unions from across the province are here in solidarity, affecting anyone with business on campus, including track.
Being locked out when they're about to try out, pretty annoying.
For students and non-striking staff, it is also frustrating where there is still limited access to the campus today at some entrances following strike protocol.
It has been going quite some time, so hopefully they come to agreement soon because it's suffering for everybody.
The issues remain the same: wages and job security. And most recently, the strikers rejected what they call a forced ratification vote ordered by the Ministry of Labour. No new talks are in the plans. Reporting live from York, I'm Austin Delaney.
Nearly 2 months into the York University strike, workers are ramping up their job action. No progress has been made on ending the strike. Since CUPE members walked off the job on March 5th, the union represents contract faculty and other staff who teach 60% of the classes at York. With no negotiations planned, labor leaders from around the province joined pickets and blockades across campus in solidarity with the striking workers.